So now we are going to start a bisection method. So for bisection method, we are given a function f. We have to find the roots of function f, which means we have to find x such that fx is equal to 0. We will assume our domain is R, where R is real numbers, and it goes from minus infinity to infinity on a real number line. So for a given function f, we have to find its roots. So this method will return exactly one root if it exists in the given interval. I will define what is the interval. So if there are multiple roots, then we have to apply some different approach or change our interval. So let's say we have fx is equal to x square minus 1. We know its graph looks like at x is equal to minus 1 and plus 1 it is 0, at x is equal to 0 it is minus 1, and it is parabolic type graph like this. So 1 minus 1, and here we have y value minus 1 and 0. So if I choose interval 0 and let's say 3, 0 to 3, then there exists only one root, which is this one. So bisection method will return this root. If let's say I take minus 3 and 3 as our initial interval, then bisection method can return this root or this root depending upon our assumption. By the way, minus 3 to 3 we can't take because they have same sign, but yeah, it is the philosophy. So let us take another example. If we have, let's say, this type of example, cubic equation, and we choose our point B here and point A here. We are always assuming that A is less than B, and FA is not equal to 0 and FB is not equal to 0. So now we can see that there exist three roots inside the interval A to B, but bisection method will return only one root. So after finding that one root, we have to apply bisection method with some different interval to find other roots. So this is one major limitation of this method. So let's start how it works. So first of all, we have to choose an interval. So step 1, choose an interval. How to choose an interval? So in this step, intermediate value theorem will help us. So what does intermediate value theorem says? If f is a continuous function, CTS means continuous, and fa is less than fb for some a comma b belong to R, or a comma b in real number line, then if there exists y such that fa is less than y less than fb, then there exists x node in a comma b such that fx node is equal to y. What does this mean? So suppose we have a function f, here we have a, here we have b. Fa has value this and fb has value this, something like this is fa and this is fb. It is given that our function is continuous. This means if we take this value of y, then intermediate value theorem says there exists some x, let's say this, such that f of x node is equal to this value. This x node can lie anywhere, we don't know about it, but the theorem guarantees the existence of x node. For example, let us make any continuous function from a to b. Let us say this. This is not a function. Yeah, like this. So we can say that for this value of y, there exists this x node. For this value of y, there exists another x node corresponding to this y. There can exist multiple values. For example, if our function was, let's say, was of this type, then for this value of y, there can exist multiple values for which can be candidate of x node. But this theorem only tell us about there exists at least one such x node such that f of x node is equal to some given y. So how to use this? So let us say we have a and b. So we have a and b such that f of a is less than f of b and fa is less than 0, and FB is greater than 0, or FA greater than 0 and FB less than 0. Alternatively, FA and FB have different signs, or we can combine these two cases and we can say that FA into FB is less than 0. So if we have FA into FB less than 0, this implies any one of these must be less than 0 and another term will be greater than 0. So if, let's say, FA is less than 0 and FB greater than 0, then we know that FA is less than 0 and FB is greater than 0. Then there exists some x node such that fx node equal to 0. And what does this mean? This means that x node is the root of f. Why? Because f is continuous function and intermediate value theorem guarantees the existence of such x node. There can be multiple x node, but we are only bothered about at least one x node. So how to use this? So step 2, we will decrease our length of interval in every step such that there is at least one root in the interval. And what does this achieve? Just let us say we have here A and here B. Let us say that. So length of interval is given by B minus A. If our B minus A, let us say, is 0.00000001, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 raised to power minus 8. If, let us say, FB is greater than 0 and FA is less than 0 for such B and A, then we can be 100% sure that a root will lie between A and B, but the error term, like let us say x is the actual root and x node is our determined root by bisection method, numerically computed root. So what will be the difference in x and x node? Difference between x and x node will be strictly less than 10 raised to power minus 8 in this case. Why? Because let us say we have A here, we have B here. Our original numerically computed x node or root of function lies here, but let us say our actual root was here. Our assumption is that difference between B and A is 10 raised to power minus 8. So from the figure we can see that difference between x and x node will be also less than 10 raised to power minus 8. And we are not taking the case where FA is 0 or FB equal to 0, because if FA equal to 0 or FB equal to 0, we have our root. So B minus A will determine how much close our root of equation using bisection method is close to original root. So how to decrease the interval size? So here we will reduce the interval in half size in every step. So how to do that? Let's say we have case 1 where FA is less than 0 and FB is greater than 0. So other cases can be done by same approach where FA will be greater than 0 and FB less than 0. So we will only cover this case. This is case 2. And our algorithm will work on both these cases. So FA is less than 0 and FB greater than 0. So by intermediate value theorem, theory is completed. So let us compute the root. So we have here value of A, we have here value of B, FA is less than 0 and FB is less than 0. So we will go to the midpoint of A and B. Midpoint of A and B is given by A plus B by 2. Let us say this is P. P denotes midpoint of A and B. So, and if our function value is less than 0 at P, then we can be 100% sure that our root will lie between P and B. There can be root between A and P, such that suppose we have the following case, but our bisection method will not detect that. What we will do, we will just compare this value with this value and this value, and we update our interval in such a way such that FP and FB or FP and FA in both pairs will have different signs. So here P and B will make different sign pair. So we will update A. Our new A will be P. So let us compute next midpoint value. Let us say this is P, and our function is this. So our domain will be reduced to this much. Why? Because if we take this domain, we can't be 100% sure that there exists a root. But if we take this range A to B, then we can be 100% sure that our root will lie in this interval. So we will update our pH B. So basically our algorithm will look like this. So we will initialize A as something A node, B as something B node. We are given A and B value initially. Then how to update this? Compute FA and FB. So let us say capital FA equal to this and capital FB equal to FB, and this will run in loop. So what we will do next, we will calculate P. P will be A plus B upon 2 and calculate FP. Let us say this is capital F denoted by capital FP is equal to F of P. Then how to update values of A and B? Update will take place like this. If FP equal to 0, we have our root. We have to do nothing. If FP into FA is less than 0, which means FP and FA have different sign, then since we know that P belongs to A and B because A and B are not equal and P is midpoint of A and B, then we know that A, this and this. So our new domain, our new set of interval will have points A and P, and A will, so B will be updated as P. So we will take B as P because the interval will be reduced from right hand side. Else A equal to P. This means we will reduce our interval from this side because FP and FA and have same sign, and so FP and FB must have different sign, and we will iterate the loop. How many times we will iterate the loop? We will do this in our next section.